this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
The springtime thaw is finally here. Flowers are blooming. Days are longer. We're saying yes to more plans and finally getting outside, running, walking, just moving again. It's the perfect time to upgrade your everyday go-tos with Bombas. Take Bombas sports socks. They're super comfortable and designed with sport-specific tech for running, cycling, yoga, hiking, you name it. I use them to run in, and I can tell you they work beautifully. So head over to bombas.com and use code SYSK for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code SYSK at checkout.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark, and I'm with Charles W. Chuck Bryan. He's right here with me. So, it's Stuff You Should Know. It's also really Stuff You Should Know because Jerry's here, too.
Oh, the Jerry's not here. It's fake stuff you should know.
It's less than vintage Stuff You Should Know.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just not great.
Yeah. I'm sure Matt and everyone appreciate that.
They don't listen to this crap.
Yeah, true.
Chuck.
Yes.
How much money do you have on you right now? Cash.
$0.00.
Well, that's stupid because you should have $3,800 in cash on you.
I never have cash.
Well, you should.
Almost never have cash.
You should have $3,800 in cash on you right now. So should I. So should Jerry.
I agree.
But we don't.
That.
We don't.
It's sad. I'd love $3,800 in my pocket.
Okay, well let's explain why I just said that, huh?
Was I supposed to?
It's all right. I'll do it.
No, I can do it. That's how much. If you divide up all the money between all the Americans, that's how much we should all have.
Bam. So, we're trying to answer a question here. How much money is there in the world?
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. There's actually a rough estimate out there that may be right. But instead, first, let's talk about how much American money there is in the world. And not just because we're American, but because it is the standard currency worldwide. It's the closest thing to the universal currency that we have.
True.
The dollar.
The greenback.
Yeah, but that's not as, I guess, widespread as it once was. A lot of people have abandoned the dollar and now use a basket of currencies to value their currency against.
Yeah.
Very rebellious.
Sure.
But still, the dollar is generally what's used, say, for oil speculation.
And imagine the dollar's in that basket, too, though, right?
Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how much they hate America.
Gotcha.
So what you were talking about, though, was all the money divided up by all the Americans coming up to $3,800. That's called the M0 money supply.
Of course you know how I read that.
How? M-O?
The Mo money supply. I was like, what? And then I read it again. It said, it can't be called the Mo money supply.
Yeah.
And then I realized that was a 0 and not an O.
It looks very much like the Mo money supply. I wrote this article.
I realize it.
And I never saw it like that until you just said that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I like the Mo money supply better than the MO.
Yeah, it's good.
But it is MO for a reason. There's also the M1, M2, and there was an M3, which we'll get to.
Right, and the people who came up with this was the Federal Reserve Bank, the United States Central Bank.
The Fed.
Right, and they like to track money. That's one of the things they do to amuse themselves.
Count.
Count money.
Mm-hmm.
And go to sleep on piles of gold ingots. But the Fed came up with this this Mo money supply, also known as the M0 supply. And that is all of the bills and coins, all of the actual hard currency that exists in the world.
Anywhere.
In U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
And as of July 2013.
Hey, that's recent.
Yeah. that came to, we should say Catherine Whitbourne from Coolest Stuff on the Planet.
Did she update this?
She updated this. So the
nice.
fact that this is as up to date as it is thanks to her.
Okay.
But the Mo money supply as of July 2013 is $1.2 trillion.
That's all the cash and all the coins all over the world of American dollars.
The real dollars that you can collect and put together.
Yep. That you can light your cigars with.
Yeah.
Or you can throw into a fountain.
Yeah.
Like
1.2 trillion US dollars. So that's how much money was in the world. But, and we said also, that's 3,800 for every American, man, woman, and child. All 316,668,567 Americans that were alive in July of 2013.
Yeah.
Each one should have had $3,800 in their pocket, because we're not talking checking accounts. We're talking the actual currency that people are walking around with. Since I don't have $3,800 in my pocket, and I didn't in July.
Yeah.
You don't, Jerry? Nope.
Jerry's got more.
Where is this stuff?
It's a good question. I wonder how that clock ticks, by the way, the population clock. I'd like to see a real time, like 3 people died, 4 people born, 2 people died, 8 people born,
Yeah.
set of twins.
I wonder if it ever does go backwards for a second.
Well, it's got to, because people are dying. But more people are being born than people are dying.
Yeah, it depends on the country you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. I always drive by the one in Atlanta, on the population clock that's been there forever. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, I remember when it topped 1 million, it was like, whoa.
Wow.
And now it's, 3 point something.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, that's Metro Atlanta.
Right.
It's not City of Atlanta. All right, so back to it. Where were we? Hard to track? The Mo money?
No, we were talking about where the $3,800 that should be in our pockets is.
Oh, well, about half to 2/3 of that is overseas.
It's in overseas pockets.
That's right. Or overseas bank accounts. Or
No. We're not talking bank accounts. This
wait, that's just the
cash.
Mo money. That's right.
Yeah. So that means that there are people walking around overseas with cash on them.
Yeah.
American dollars. Which makes a lot of sense. And so when you start to divide the amount of money, that 1.2 trillion, by a lot more than 316 million people, that explains why I have a single dollar bill on my person right now.
And why I have nothing.
Right. And Jerry, nothing.
Nothing. Man, we're sad sacks.
Okay, so that's just the Mo money supply.
Yeah, the M0, the M1 is all of the Mo money plus checking account money and other kinds of just accounts that you can, track, and traveler's checks.
Yeah, very liquid types of accounts.
Yeah, so that's the M1 supply.
And it's funny that you were having trouble wrapping your head around the fact that we were talking about cash outside of banks for the M0 supply. I had the same problem too. Like, it's hard to think of money outside of banks in this day and age.
Yeah,
because
I rarely have cash on hand.
You use like debit cards and credit cards and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I use my American Express for everything.
That's funny that on this audio podcast you just held it up to your face when you said that.
So that's the M1. In June of this year, of 2013, the M1 supply was about 2.5 trillion. So the Mo money supply was 1.2. The M1 was 2.5. That's all the accounts and checking accounts, traveler's checks. Then there's the M2, which is the M1 supply plus money market fund money, savings accounts, and CDs under $100,000, which they call small CDs.
Right.
Where I come from, that's a pretty good CD.
Well, a CD over $100,000 is called a jumbo.
Yeah.
I was looking up jumbo rates. They used to be something like 4.25%. Some of them would be like 22% for like a 10-year.
Really?
Yeah. So you get like $22,000 back over. No, I'm sorry, 5 years. So you go give a bank $100,000.
Yeah.
Say, keep this for 5 years, pay me back, and they would give you 22% interest. So you get $122,000 back.
When was this?
Not very long ago, a couple years ago before the crash.
Wow.
You want to know what it's at right now? For $100,000, 3-year, I believe, CD, a jumbo CD, you get like 1.4%.
That's not even worth your time.
To give a bank $100,000 to keep for 3 years, they'll give you $1,400.
Yeah,
that's asinine.
Go to the dog track with $100,000.
Right.
And you leave a heroin addict.
crying.
All right, so the M2 supply, which, like I said, was the M1 supply plus money market fund, saving accounts, and those smaller CDs, $10.5 trillion.
That's virtually all of the American money in the world.
Pretty much, because they got rid of M3 basically in 2006 because they said it really doesn't tell us much to know what the larger jumbo CDs are adding to this pile. It doesn't change things that much, I guess.
I imagine there's just not that many.
Yeah, exactly.
So about 10.5 trillion US dollars in accounts and in cash, in holdings in the world in about June, July of 2013.
That's a lot of dough.
It is a lot of dough.
Say, that's a lot of moolah.
Right. And if you want to, it even says in here, that's a lot of moolah.
It did. And that's when I looked up, I was like, who wrote this? I was like, oops.
I thought this was well done.
Well, and I learned how to spell moolah. I didn't know.
Don't patronize
No, I'm
me.
serious. I literally thought, oh, that's how you spell moolah.
Huh. How'd you think you spelled it?
I don't know.
M-U-L-A?
No, I just never thought it. I'd never seen it spelled out. M-O-O-L-A-H. Is that right?
That's AP standard.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. You know, it's hard to believe that the first phone call ever happened over 150 years ago. Just think about that, Chuck.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And I'm Gen X, so I grew up talking on the phone with my friends in high school and stuff, and it was a really fond memory.
And over all these years and all these phone calls, AT&T has been there, connecting people in meaningful ways. And this is more than a story of technological innovation. It's a story of human connection.
That's right. Over that 150 years, there's been a lot of connection with people, whether it was me in high school or family connecting with one another long distance or those long distance relationships. And AT&T has been there for it all. Connecting changes everything. AT&T. So this, I think we've kind of pointed out, it's tough to track money like this.
Well, yeah.
It's not the easiest thing. They do a pretty good job of it, though.
Well, the Fed does specifically because it's just what they do, and they love doing that.
Yeah, but it's an estimate still. Like, no one knows how much cash I have in my house. No one asked me.
No, but they know how much was printed. They keep track of that kind of stuff, how much is destroyed, how much is in circulation.
Sure.
And, there's bank reportings. They know how much a bank has at the Fed.
Yeah.
So they have it's pretty close estimate from what I understand. The thing is, not every country has a Fed like the Fed in the U.S.
True.
And that makes it way harder to say how much money is in the entire world. Not just U.S. dollars, but all the money in the entire world.
And more difficult to control your economy.
It is.
If you don't know how much money you have, it's very difficult to sway your economy one way or the other.
Right, exactly. So Zimbabwe is a really good example of why it's so hard to track a lot of money, and also what happens when you don't track your money.
Yeah, or what happens when you decide, in order to fix economic woes, let's just start printing more money.
Right.
Because that's, if you know nothing about finance and economics, a common thing you might think is, well, they could probably just infuse some cash flow by printing money occasionally. And they do occasionally. But in Zimbabwe, they did it to such an extent with the Zim dollar which I didn't even believe that was right. It's actually called a Zim dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like something from a movie.
Not a good one either.
Yeah, exactly. They printed so much money that they encountered hyperinflation like the world has never seen before.
Yeah, so
Like
basically
ridiculous numbers.
Yes. This hyperinflation in 2006, it was really bad. In 2000, Zimbabwe started to enter an inflationary spiral.
Yeah.
In 2006, it was so bad that a sheet, not a roll, a sheet of toilet paper cost 417 Zim dollars. Okay?
1 square?
Yeah. A roll of toilet paper cost $145,750.
I would go broke so quick in Zimbabwe.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody would have gone broke, but it wasn't that the toilet paper was very expensive. It was that the Zim dollars had very little purchasing power.
Yeah.
And that was because dollars, just like any other commodity, are subject to the influences of supply and demand. And
Sure.
when there's a lot of them on the market, their value decreases.
Yeah.
That's how the U.S. government has managed to stay afloat so many times. They release a bunch of money. They cause inflation so that the debts that they owe are worth less. So when they pay them
Right.
off, it hurts the government less. It's
Again.
a really horrible thing to do to your investors, but it's done. But that's the point. When you have a lot of dollars out there, you have less purchasing power per dollar.
Yeah.
And that's what was going on in Zimbabwe. And things got really out of hand because they decided to fight this by printing more dollars.
Yeah, they really got out of hand. Some of these stats in here are just staggering. You said that you didn't say, you report
Thanks.
that it was estimated that it was equivalent to prices doubling in stores every 1.3 days.
Yeah, the most I saw was every 24.7 hours.
Prices essentially were being doubled
Yes.
by way of the dollar losing value.
Right. Like the kind of inflation that we're looking at right here in America right now is like in the single digit percentiles, and it's being kept low by the Fed on purpose. But we're talking like doubling.
Yeah.
100% increase.
Like the toilet paper is this much, the next day it's twice as much, the
Exactly.
next day it's 3 times.
Right.
That's just not going to affect the economy. That's going to think about it. If toilet paper costs that much money, people are going to stop using toilet paper. That leads to poor
Right.
sanitation. That leads to, it's just a domino effect.
Well, there was a joke that the toilet paper was so expensive, or the dollar, the Zim dollar, bought such little toilet paper that it was actually more useful as toilet paper than to buy toilet paper with.
Yeah, that's not funny, but
Well, yeah, if you're in Zimbabwe, it's
Yeah.
not. But the annual inflation was estimated, like this was watching Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a currency or monetary policy economist,
Yeah.
it was like a dream come true. Last time something happened this bad, it was Hungary in 1946.
yeah, I think we talked about that once.
Yeah, I think it was in the Super Stuff Guide to Economics,
Oh, yeah.
our spoken word album.
Yeah.
But the inflation in Zimbabwe was estimated at 516 quintillion %.
That's by the end of 2008.
Okay, that's not even the highest that I've seen now. The highest I saw is 89.7 sextillion %, which is a 89.7 billion trillion %, or 89.7 10 to the 21st power %. That was their annual rate of inflation.
And that was probably early 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in January 2009, they basically said you can start using foreign currency again, which helped stabilize things the tiniest bit, but it didn't obviously work.
Well, it ended inflation abruptly because they abandoned these dollars. The currency lost value so much that everybody stopped using it. And they went to the South African rand and the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, it took 4 months from January to April for basically to completely abandon their money.
Right. So
4 months and a country's money is literally useless.
right. And when they did abandon it, it was actually a pretty good move. Like you couldn't carry the economy with this
No.
money any longer because it was so valueless.
They're in bad shape no matter what, but at least that was a good move.
Right. And the reason it was a good move is because it stopped inflation because there weren't that many dollars and there weren't that many rands around.
Yeah.
Which means that they were scarce, which means, again, according to supply and demand, they were valuable and that hence they had purchasing power.
Yeah, and it's really unbelievable, but it got so bad they were printing money in larger and larger denominations because they had to, because people couldn't carry around. You'd have to have a suitcase full of money to buy your toilet paper.
Right.
So they ended up producing a 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollar note that you can now buy on eBay for about $5.
Yeah.
That's sad.
When it was released, it was worth about 30.
Yeah, and that's actual conversion rate. Like now it's only worth something on eBay.
Yeah,
like
whatever
there
somebody
is,
will pay for it.
Yeah, there is no conversion rate.
Right.
I think I'm going to get one, though, just to have it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I'll get you one, too.
Thanks, man.
I'll get us all...
That.
What is it, 300? No, 30? $100 trillion notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's the fact that the Zimbabwean government wasn't tracking their money in the first place, and they didn't track it after they kept releasing it again and again.
Yeah.
And there was no buyback program. They just said, you guys keep that.
Yeah.
They have no idea how many Zimbabwean dollars were released just in the 21st century, let alone how many are out there on the market. So that's why it's virtually impossible to track how much money is out there in the world.
Yeah.
But that hasn't stopped at least one guy. Well,
Right.
actually, that's not true. I talked to Catherine Whitborn today, and she was saying that the guy gave up. That
Oh, really?
The most recent figure she could find was 2010 because he's like, forget this.
Yeah, Mike Hewitt of $days with a Z.com. Yeah, I guess he gave up on it, huh? That was his blog, his econ blog. And he was tracking 135 currencies in 167 countries. And I guess December 2010 is probably one of the last stats he has then, if that's when he quit.
Yeah.
And his Mo money equaled 5 trillion in U.S. dollars in circulation. M2 was 55 trillion. So 55 trillion bucks.
Yeah, that's the value of all the money in the world, according to Mike Hewitt.
In U.S. dollars.
The U.S. dollar value.
Yeah, U.S. dollar value.
But not just U.S. dollars.
Yeah, that's everything.
Right.
55 trillion.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Okay, so this would be a lot easier to track, and things like what happened in Zimbabwe wouldn't happen. You would never have hyperinflation if we all used a universal worldwide currency.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
No less than John Maynard Keynes has suggested that, and it's been bandied about for a long time, since World War II.
Well, even before then.
Yeah, I think it was maybe closest to happening maybe after World War II.
Well, yeah.
Which wasn't very close.
No. There were instances of what were, to the people who were using the currency, was effectively a universal currency, like the early imperial powers of China and Rome used a single currency in all the lands they conquered, which is why hordes of Roman silver coins are found in fields in the UK still today.
Right.
But it's still not technically a worldwide currency.
Yeah.
But World War II, we came very close, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the pros, I guess. Because if you look it up on the internet, there's a lot of debate still going on. Some of the pros, speculators can't short a currency. That scenario you were talking about, like devaluing currency to pay back debts.
Right.
That'd be gone.
Because it wouldn't be a commodity. There wouldn't be
equalizer.
Any other currency to exchange it against.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's just a dollar. It just can be used to buy something. You can't buy and sell it itself. It would be valueless like that.
Exporters wouldn't have to worry about price caps. There would be no conversion fees, which would free up money for like healthcare or whatever. I mean, something good to spend it on.
Right.
Of course, this is a utopian outlook, like, oh yeah, then they could spend it on healthcare.
Right, ideally. But
it would free up money. It would end disputes about currency manipulation, like China. So there are some pros for sure.
Right.
You wouldn't have to stand in line at the Cambio centers and exchange your money when you traveled.
No, and
it's a convenience.
Yumi and I went to Europe this summer, and it was nice to not. We just exchanged once.
Yeah, I hadn't been since the euro.
It's like everywhere. And even in places in Croatia, they still use their currency, but everybody accepts euros.
Yeah, I bet they accept American dollars there too.
Probably.
I kind of enjoyed the different currencies.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
And it's just neat. I kind of enjoyed I guess it was I didn't see it as a hassle. Maybe I was young, but I always thought it was kind of neat. Like, let me go turn in my francs for my German dollars.
Well, it just sucks to lose money buying another currency.
Yeah, or to come out ahead, though. That's when you're rocking.
Right, sometimes.
But
it's been a while since that happened.
Yeah, well, this was in the mid-1990s. So the American dollar we were doing pretty well in Eastern Europe.
The dollar was sound as the pound.
But we got killed in England, of course, as always.
Yeah.
Because your pound is so awesome.
Well, that was the big discrepancy after World War II, like when we came close to adopting universal currency.
Yeah.
The Americans and the Brits couldn't decide on what to value it against, the pound or the dollar.
Right.
And so it just fell apart.
Well, the Pew Research Center did a poll, and apparently 41% of Americans believe that we will have a universal currency by 2050. But the article I got that from, the guy speculates that could be because we're sort of programmed to think that the future will be like that. Because
globalized entirely.
Yeah, like every sci-fi movie ever, it's like, universal credits. It's not even like cash.
Right.
So people will just kind of have that in the back of their minds.
So there's a lot of drawbacks to a universal currency as well. There's some clever things you can do if you are in charge of your own currency.
Sure.
And it's valued against other currencies. One of them is if your economy is sluggish, you can release a lot of your currency, create inflation, drive prices down in your country compared to the buying power of a foreign currency.
Yeah.
And attract that foreign currency and get your economy kickstarted again.
Yeah.
If you're using the same currency as all these other countries that you're trading with, sure, there's not that gap, right? The currency gap.
Yeah.
But you also can't do that nice little trick that's probably would have bailed out Spain and Greece
right.
on their own had they not been trading the euro or using the euro the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's a good point. Some pundits think that the gold standard, if they were to go to a universal currency, it should be based on something like the gold standard again, or the gold standard, period. But a lot of other people say, no, that's antiquated and just a bad idea.
Yeah.
Potentially dangerous.
I wonder how.
How it'd be dangerous? I don't know. We should do one on the gold standard. I mean, they got rid of it for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Something about going back to something that...
But it was Nixon who got rid of it, so it makes you think it's inherently evil getting rid of the gold standard,
Yeah. The other thing, too, is who's going to run the show is really the big... I think that's probably the biggest stumbling block.
It's a huge one.
There's got to be a universal body.
An international reserve bank, central bank, that has the authority on issuing these things
The
or
World Bank.
Buying them back. And ever since the Clinton era, everybody's been nervous about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even if you're not a paranoid type, you may just think that this body, by definition, would be incompetent, just from looking at the UN.
Yeah.
The UN has successes.
Sure.
Peacekeeping missions are frequently very helpful.
Yeah.
And can add stability to a region. And then you have things like the International Panel on Climate Change, which releases its opinions on climate change based on politics and diplomacy rather than science.
Yeah, and you can't if it's a World Bank, there's too much at stake to make mistakes.
And we already have a World Bank. It's just not in charge of every currency.
Yeah.
And if it were, it could be problematic. It could be helpful, could be problematic. I don't really fall down on either side of this.
Yeah, I don't know. You know how I feel about economics. It's just as long as I can go buy my stuff and pay my mortgage.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the yen or the dollar or the
euro. The Communauté Financière d'Afrique franc. Do you care if it's that?
No. I had never heard of that. I didn't know. I thought the euro was sort of the only consolidator, but apparently in Africa, 8 West African nations do share that West African CFA franc, African Financial Community.
Another 6 Central African nations share a Central African CFA franc, which is weird because they're interchangeable.
Yeah, 2 currencies that they can, either one's fine.
Yeah.
I guess it's like when you go to Costa Rica.
Right.
Or Mexico. You can use your dollars. You can use your pesos.
Yeah, I guess so. But apparently, from interchangeable, I read that to mean like they're valued the exact same.
Oh, right.
Which is like, why have two different currencies that are so similar that are the same value?
Yeah.
Just make one CFA franc.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then there was a lot of talk about hemispheric and regional unified currencies in Central America and South America.
Yeah.
And they came very close, but the recent troubles from the Eurozone have made a lot of people back off about it. And in North America, there was going to be the North American Union, which is Canada, Mexico, and the United States. Supposedly, we're going to be fused together into one
And
political...
Mexico was like, yes, and Canada was like, ah.
Right.
And America was like, oh.
Well, we were going to come up with the Amero. AMERO was the name of the unified currency that would have been...
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, it's a conspiracy theory, at least.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's how much money's in the world.
Isn't it kind of weird that, not weird, but that America is sandwiched between such two different countries?
It is.
Like Canada and Mexico, it's like, you can't get any more opposite.
Yeah, I guess...
Climate, people, food,
sure,
economy, and then America's right in the middle. It's kind of fitting.
We're the melting pot of Canada and Mexico.
I guess we are.
Or where it all comes together.
Of America's hat and America's pants?
I can't remember what you've called Mexico before.
Shoes?
I don't think so.
All right, let's just call it Mexico.
Okay, so that's how much money there is in the world. If you want to read this article, you can type that into the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And since it's a search bar, it's time for a message break.
Stuff you should know.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. You know, it's hard to believe that the first phone call ever happened over 150 years ago. Just think about that, Chuck.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And I'm Gen X, so I grew up talking on the phone with my friends in high school and stuff, and it was a really fond memory.
And over all these years and all these phone calls, AT&T has been there, connecting people in meaningful ways. And this is more than a story of technological innovation. It's a story of human connection.
That's right. Over that 150 years, there's been a lot of connection with people, whether it was me in high school or family connecting with one another long distance or those long distance relationships. And AT&T has been there for it all. Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
And Chuck, what time is it now?
It's time for Administrative Details. Again, folks, this is when we thank people for sweet gifts that they send us in the mail. And I have a list of books, starting with How We Do Anything Means Everything. How,
There you go.
Why How We Do Anything Means Everything by Dov Seidman. Or Dov, D-O-V.
Yeah.
Dov.
Dov?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Dov.
They're very nice.
It's a Dovster.
Do you want to say it one more time?
No.
Okay. Let's see. We got a postcard from Madagascar from Kara Levitt. Thank you very much for that.
Nice. Another book by Alan Gerstel, Swing, The Search for My Father, Louis Prima. We might have already read this one, but it deserves a double.
Okay. We got a letter with further insight into the hip-hop episode from B-Boy Antivirus.
Nice.
Yeah.
How's he doing these days?
doing great.
Science Nearly Explained by Dick Maxwell, and that is available on Amazon or Kindle.
Nice. We have a postcard with a picture of the pair, which you'll remember from the torture episode, from the Museo de Torture from Anna.
Oh, nice.
Thank you very much.
Our buddy Roger Ma sent us the Vampire Combat Manual.
Yeah.
And he's previously sent us the Zombie Combat Manual.
Yep.
And Roger's a good dude. We actually finally met him, didn't we?
I don't know. Did we meet him?
I think we met Roger at one of the Comic-Cons.
Oh,
if I'm
good.
Not mistaken.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Hey, Raj. We got a postcard from China from Carrie.
Nice. We got another book called Trunkless. It's a children's book. And I don't have the author here, but it's called Trunkless.
I think we did that one before.
Did we? Mm-hmm. All right. Double plug.
We got another postcard from Bagram Airfield from Amy Lynn. Thanks for that.
We got a book called Verbivore's Feast by Christy the Wordsmith, and that was sent in by Hillary.
Nice. We got a postcard of a bear pooping in the woods from Van Nostrand. Thanks, Van Nostrand.
Yeah, and we should mention, too, Van Nostrand also sent us his CD from his awesome band, the Bangalore's Sasquatch with a Mullet.
Yes. Thank you, buddy.
We got a comic zine called Happy Trails, Cowboy Poetry by Horace T. Brushy Beard Stash.
We got a really cool cityscape watercolor card that was designed and sent by Alex. Thanks, Alex.
John Linnemeyer wrote a book called How an Average Man Lived an Adventurous Life. And I haven't read that yet, but I'm going to.
Good going, Chuck.
Yeah.
We got some CDs from Rich Bozick that may or may not have been all of them, but thank you very much for those.
Yeah, and I believe he also sent us a DVD called Forgotten Detroit and a nice ink rendering of ourselves.
Us.
Like a caricatures.
Right.
Did you see that?
Yeah, is it the same guy?
I think it's the same guy.
Well, thank you very much. Big time, Rich.
A book called Roman Disasters by Jerry Toner. And a book called The Life and Times of Swirly Van Coco, Stuff You Should Know edition. It's a comic, actually, from Aaron Dunbar.
Yes, I remember. What else do we have, Chuck?
And then we have a bunch of music. You want to go through these with me?
Colin Blow, Devil in Disguise.
That's right. Ben from Self-Evident sent us CDs and vinyl of their record, We Built a Fortress on Short Notice.
We definitely plugged that one before.
Yeah.
The La La Band sent us their CD, Moonshine Still.
Yep. A group called Forging Reverie sent us a CD called Motion Canvas, and that was from Derek.
Yeah. Eric Davis and Sam Gray sent us a CD, Table People, and some authentic Korean junk food. Awesome.
That's right. Burke Ingraphia sent us download codes for his CD Jazz Animals.
Right. Katie Sinner sent us a nice handwritten letter. She's doing something called the Letter Project, where she sends a letter to somebody who inspires her to ask, what are you pursuing in your life, and how do you know when you've gotten there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we answered.
Did we?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, nice.
For both of us.
Oh, nice. Thanks, man.
I know what you're pursuing.
I don't even have to do any thinking.
And then we have one more vinyl and CD, The Shape of Beats to Come, from Bendik Baksus Band.
Yes.
That is BENDIKBAKSAAS.
Yep.
And
He's
you
pretty
should
awesome.
take these vinyls. There's a couple over there on my desk. And
thanks, man.
you got a record player.
I do.
And mine is busted.
What happened to your record player?
Oh, it's up in the attic. I hadn't worked for a year or so. Until I get it going, you should just take the vinyl.
I will.
Yeah, and we appreciate the vinyl, by the way. It's very cool.
I believe Benedict Baxus, didn't we read his name for volunteering? No, donating to co-ed?
Oh, maybe. Bendik?
I believe so.
All
Bendik,
right.
yeah.
Well, if that's the same person, then thanks for that.
Doubly.
So that is administrative details for now. Whew. Thanks for the stuff.
Yeah, we're all caught up.
Very nice. I know. It feels good.
It didn't take like 8 episodes to cover it all.
That's right.
If you want to send us something, you can get in touch with us by tweeting to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/Stuff You Should Know. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@discovery.com. And you can join us at our home on the web, the awesome website, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
Stuff at Sea is a 5-night, adults-only sailing trip that brings the Stuff podcast universe to life on board. This voyage is a culture-soaked escape where pink sand paradise meets curious minds. Sailing round trip from New York City to Bermuda on October 2nd to 7th, 2026, this voyage drops you straight into the iHeart Podcast Stuff universe. On top of the adults-only experience you already love, you'll get live podcast episode recordings, behind-the-scenes sessions, themed activations, and more unmissable onboard moments. Learn more at virginvoyages.com/stuff.
Service opens doors, and at American Military University, it can open doors for the whole family. If you have a loved one who served in the military, you may qualify for reduced tuition. AMU offers flexible online programs designed to fit your schedule, so you can keep moving forward wherever life takes you. Learn more at amu.apus.edu/military. Open doors to the future for you and your family with the help of American Military University.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.